morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to take a look at Mewtwo. Turns out Mewtwo has started winning pretty quickly. Is it the best deck in the format? Bit early for it to be the best deck in the format. We're not exactly sure. There's a lot of different stuff that's winning over in Japan right now. Is it a viable deck, though? Oh, yes. Oh, we have a viable deck, ladies and gentlemen. Mewtwo is a thing. And I was wondering whether we had a good enough attacker in the Team Rocket deck. And the answer is we do. But it is just Mewtwo. As a side note, I am seeing some Crobat decks over in Japan coming around doing pretty well. We'll talk more about them in a later video. But for today, we need to talk about Mewtwo. And we need to talk about the fact that actually, Mewtwo's good. Mewtwo's a genuinely good deck. So we start off then with Mewtwo itself. And we got an ability that says you need to have 4 or more Rocket Pokemon in play in order to attack with this Pokemon. So we're going full Team Rocket. No issues there. But we do have 2 exceptions. Every deck is playing 1 Clefairy. And that's a lie. Most of them are playing 1 Clefairy. And a bunch of them are playing Fez and Dipty to draw extra cards on KO. Those 2 are finding their way in. That is it. Outside of that, we're going full Team Rocket. The Mewtwo attack, what do we got? We got 160 damage for free energy, but you can discard up to 2 energy from your benched Pokemon, and for each one discarded, you do 60 more damage. That is up to 280 in total. You discard 2 energy from your benched Pokemon, you do 280. Obviously, if you only need to do 160, don't go to all the effort, you're fine, but there will be plenty of times you need to stretch up to that extra damage. So it's there. It's an option. We can have a play with that if we feel like it. Awesome. The other incredibly important card in this deck is Team Rocket Spidops. And make no mistake about it, this is played as a 4-3 or a 4-4 in like every list I'm seeing. 4-3 is the minimum that I'm seeing. I'm seeing 4-3 and I'm seeing 4-4. Make no mistake about it, Spidops is the reason this deck works. Now, it's interesting. The attack for a grass and a colorless energy does 30 damage for each of your Team Rocket Pokemon in play. That is up to 180. And you know what? Yeah. Honestly, like, the ability accelerates 1 basic energy from your discard to this Pokemon during your turn. So in terms of getting this rolling, you can either leave it on the bench for 2 turns and it will just pay for itself, or use the ability, attach for turn, boom, you're rolling. These decks will play a bunch of grass energy, well, generally free. Free grass energy is standard. And the reason is they want to be able to attack with Spidops. And I'm not saying every game you will, but I'm saying every game you have the option. And let's not forget, hitting weakness on Charizard, which is still a relevant Pokemon. And let's say you've got 5 Team Rocket Pokemon in play. That's 150 times 2 weakness is 300. Yeah, you need a full 6. Against Charizard, you will need 6 out. That is 180. That's 360 with weakness. But then you're also hitting weakness against Roaring Moon, which is still around and out there and seeing play. So this is a relevant weakness to be hitting. And you can actually hit it with Spidops, or just use it as a single prize attacker because it's basically the best single prize attacker in the deck. And yeah, you can basically play this as a single prize Spidops deck if you want to. Now, I'm not sure every list is playing quite enough recovery, I grant you, but it is there. The other thing, of course, is that every list here is playing usually free energy switch. Sometimes 2, but usually free energy switch. Because, of course, look at Mewtwo's attack cost. It is for free energy. So we got Spidops with energy switch will do 1 energy. Team Rocket's energy, which is a double energy, will do the other 2. There we go. That's your attack cost absolutely paid for, no ifs, buts, or maybes. This is good. Spidops is great. Use it as an attacker. use it to attach energy to so that you can discard the energy with Mewtwo's attack to do 280. 2 Spidops on the bench means you'll always hit 280. Or use it to energy switch onto Mewtwo. There are 3 very good uses for Team Rocket Spidops in this deck. You have to be playing it. It's too gosh darn good. In terms of other Pokemon, I've mentioned that you play Clefairy. Clefairy makes Dragon Pokemon weak to Psychic, and has an attack that does 20 damage plus 20 more for each bench Pokemon, yours and your opponent's. To put it simply, it is a counter for Dragapult. Dragapult is a great deck right now, arguably the best deck in the format, and this is a hard counter to it. Also Raging Bolt, which is one of the best decks in the format right now, and this is a hard counter to that as well. Make no mistake about it, basically any deck that can right now is playing Lily's Clefairy. It's too gosh darn good. And this is playing Psychic Energy for Mewtwo anyway. So this is an absolute no-brainer. You have to play one Lily's Clefairy in this deck. It will swing those matchups. It is as simple as that. The other absolute must-play here is Articuno. That is the other card that makes its way into every Mewtwo deck. You have to play Articuno. The attack is irrelevant, we're just not playing Water Energy. And I know Team Rocket's energy is a double energy, but it only actually counts for Darkness or Psychic, so the attack is genuinely irrelevant, we can't use it. But the ability says that while it's in play, your basic Team Rocket's Pokemon do not take effects from attacks. That's special conditions, removing energy, instant KOs, things of that nature. And it's not going to work for everything, but it's going to work for Mewtwo. And any basic tech Pokemon you play. So this again is a hard, you have to play one of, you have no choice. Now outside of that, there are some other options which you could or could not play. Most of the Mewtwo lists do play a copy of Mimikyu. That is, if it's not a staple like Articuno, it's very, very close. Because what we got from Mimikyu is an attack for 2 energy, or 1 Team Rocket's energy, and you get to copy the attacks of one of your opponent's Terra Pokemon, active Terra Pokemon, and use it as this attack. Things like Dragapult's attack, for instance, or Charizard's attack. You can just go ahead and copy. And as a side note, if Charizard's taken 5 prizes, it'll be hitting 330. Mimikyu will be able to take out a Charizard if they've taken 5 prizes. So, Mimikyu again, it attacks for a Team Rocket's energy. It works again in a bunch of matchups. It's great. There are a couple others you can play here. Wobbuffet isn't an absolute staple, but there are a few of them here that are playing it. Wobbuffet's got that ability, and we've actually got, remember, the English scan here, because it is going to be our Elite Trainer Box promo. Well, it's an attack. And again, for 1 Rocket's energy, move all damage counters from one of your bench Team Rocket's Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. Hopefully full healing while taking a prize. It's great. And then also Team Rocket Sneasel. That's another one that we do see seeing a fair bit of play here. And again, it's a very similar kind of thing. You attack for just a single Team Rocket's energy, and then you choose one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, and you do 20 damage for each damage counter on them. Basically, you triple it. You triple the damage that's on them. It's a way to get big KOs on the bench without having to use any kind of gusting, and also, you're doing like treble the damage that's on them. If they're not playing bench protection, oh, this is going to be fun against their bench. Not a staple, but a few decks are playing it. Now, in terms of key trainer cards, there are actually a few we need to talk about. By far the most popular ace-spec we're seeing here is Maximum Belt. There are some others being played, but Maximum Belt is the most popular, and to me, it seems like the correct one. Because it does 50 more to a Pokemon EX. Well, Mewtwo's generally hitting 280. This means you hit up to 330. Well, there is a huge difference between 280 and 330. It means you KO Charizard, whereas you'd usually be a bit short. It means you KO Dragapult, where you would usually be a little bit short. It means you KO Gardevoir, even though you would generally be a little bit too short. Basically, it means that Mewtwo generally KOs anything except Stage 2 EXs. Maximum Belt means you can KO stage 2 EXs. It's absolutely huge. It just swings matchups. And I've already mentioned how Mimikyu can swing matchups, and Lily's Clefairy can swing matchups, and now this can. And what we got is basically a bunch of one-off cards that can take one big KO during the game and swing the matchup round to your favour. But then we've got all of the Team Rocket cards, and we are basically playing most of the Team Rocket cards, honestly, here, because they're all just too gosh darn good. So, supporter-wise, obviously we're playing Team Rocket's Proton. That's the one that lets you search for free basic Team Rocket's Pokemon, and you can use it even if it's your first turn going first. We're using Team Rocket's Giovanni, which is your Gusting. You switch your active Team Rocket's Pokemon, one of your bench Team Rocket's Pokemon, and then you do some Gusting, which is ridiculous. Drag one of your bonus bench Pokemon to the active. We play Team Rocket's Ariana here, which is one where you draw until you've got 5 cards in hand. But if all of your Pokemon in play are Team Rockets, you draw until you've got 8 Pokemon in hand. Obviously, you need to watch for your non-Team Rocket ones here. Clefairy's only coming down in a relevant matchup, whereas Fezandipti, you have to be a little bit careful it doesn't end up on the bench when you don't want it there. And then we got Team Rocket's Archer, because Team Rocket's Archer, you can only use it if one of your Team Rocket's Pokemon was knocked out during your opponent's last turn, but it's a shuffle draw for both players. You get 5, your opponent gets 3. They are all great cards you need to be playing. And then you got Team Rocket's Receiver, which is just an item card that lets you search for the Team Rocket supporter card you want, so you don't even need to be playing like a 4-4-4 line of them, which is absurd. A general rule is 4 Ariana because it's your main draw, and then you can play around a little bit with copies of the others, because, you know, Team Rocket's Proton, it's so good for searching your basics. Why wouldn't you play 4 of them? Because if you play 2 of them and 4 Team Rocket's Receivers, you only really want 1 on your first turn, and this way you're only playing 2 copies of the card, so it's not clogging up your hand in later turns, but you got 6 outs to it on turn 1. Honestly, you're only really playing 2 in case 1 is prized. It's a way of playing cards as a 1 of or a 2 of, but having 5 or 6 outs to them in your deck. It's absurd. And because, and I mean this, literally all of your supporter cards are Team Rocket supporter cards, you are therefore playing Team Rocket's Factory. If you've used a supporter card with Team Rocket in its name during a turn, you can draw 2 cards. Watch the mistranslation of this going around. It is a card that you can use at any time during your turn. It does not activate when you play the supporter. You can use it any time during your turn if you have played a supporter. That is very, very, very different. So here's probably my favourite deck list I've seen so far. You can notice here they've had to cut down to a 4-3 Spidops line, but they found space for both Sneasel and Mimikyu, which I very much like. There's even a Bravery Charm on there to get a bit of extra bulk to Mewtwo. Very nice. We've then got a second list here, which is pretty similar, but this one's not got Sneasel. But it does have Wobbuffet. But a lot of the key cards here, you'll notice, are very much the same. Also worth noting, there's Pokemon Catcher. Both of these first 2 lists I've shown you are playing Pokemon Catcher, that flip a coin Gusting. Here's a third list, which plays Mimikyu, but it doesn't play Sneasel or the others. And again, there's a lot of similar stuff here. Noteworthy that we do actually play a single Team Rocket's Patrel here. This is a supporter card that isn't in the other lists. It just lets you search for a trainer card and put it into your hand. Not bad, given that it's searchable, of course, with Team Rocket's Receiver. And then here's a very different fourth list. This one's choosing to play Secret Box. I'm not a fan of this list personally. There's a Defiance Band in there. There's a TM Evolution for your Spidops. I'm not such a fan of this list personally. I really think Maximum Belt is too gosh darned important. But I figured, hey, let's show you another one just to be safe. So there we go. That's what you need to know. And now it's over to you guys. Are you buying Mewtwo as a legitimate threat in the metagame? Or do you think it's not going to be good enough when the time comes? Let me know in the comment section. Get us! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel like the lovely Kanto Royalty, who's been a support of us for a while now and is a very lovely person. Also, I kind of love that we're giving a shout-out to Kanto Royalty in the video where we talk about Mewtwo. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.